Hey, and welcome to Girl Be Free, a podcast designed to help women get unstuck and cultivate the life you want on your terms. I'm Siobhan, your host, and I'm passionate about empowering women to live their best life. Each week, you'll hear pep talks that will inspire and push you to take action so you too can start to be free and live the life you want. You can learn more about me at BeFreeProject.com. Now let's jump into the show. This episode of the Girl Be Free podcast is being sponsored by the Be Free Inner Circle, an exclusive online community where positive, like-minded women gather, connect, support, and learn how to cultivate the life they deserve. The Be Free Inner Circle membership includes live monthly group coaching calls and office hours, masterclasses and workshops that will cover topics such as consistency and discipline, self-care, and creating a vision for your life, just to name a few. A resource library where you can print out articles, worksheets, and workbooks. A book club so that we have a space to discuss some of our favorite books. And the most important part is accountability and community support from women who are on the same wavelength as you and that are on a similar path who wants to be free. And a bonus feature, every member of the Be Free Inner Circle will have access to my live in-person monthly Be Free meetups where you'll be able to view live stream right from your computer screen. So I know you're excited and you want to be a part of the Be Free Inner Circle. So don't worry, I got you covered. Just go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com to learn more and sign up today. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Girl Be Free podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan, where I'm going to inspire and motivate you to show up for yourself. This week, I am loving Thoughtfully magazine. Okay, of course, a story has to come first. This past weekend, I hosted a private Be Free meetup at a hair salon. And I realized after finishing with the salon that I have been working my butt off between the podcast, the in-person meetups, the Be Free Inner Circle, speaking at events, being a mom, a wife, and all the jazz. I said, you know what? I need to celebrate myself. And I share that because I have a habit of once I complete one thing, I'm on to the next and then on to the next. And I need to press pause and just celebrate my wins. And self-care can look any way that you want it to, right? And so my self-care was, number one, finally trying the Impossible Burger. I don't know if y'all heard of that, but it's a plant-based burger that they only sell at select restaurants. I had one this weekend. It was so yummy. And then number two, I purchased Thoughtfully magazine. And the reason that I'm sharing this is because I've been trying to find this magazine forever in the store. I follow them on Instagram and just love their page, their feed, everything that they're about. And so when I was at Barnes & Noble this weekend, I finally came across it and I said, you know what? I am going to treat myself to this magazine. So I purchased it. I came home, I closed my bedroom door, I sat down on the floor, and I just indulged in the magazine. And y'all, it is so beautiful. The content is really good. The color, the content that they're sharing, I just said that. And then the quality of the paper and just the information in it just speaks to my soul. So the tagline is the way life should be lived. We are thoughtfully and intentional living and wellness and self-care magazine in print. Doesn't that sound so lovely? So I am enjoying the magazine. I definitely will be purchasing more copies. I will link to their website in the show notes. But if you haven't heard of them, definitely follow them on Instagram. Check out their magazine. And again, because I'm all in this space of self-discovery and being mindful and practicing self-care, whatever way that I can get my energy up and my vibrations and all that jazz, I'm all for it. So that is what I'm loving this week. Now on to today's topic, which is know your worth. So this episode is probably more so for me than it is for you, but hopefully it resonates in some kind of way. And I'm sharing this topic because it's really personal to me. And the reason being is that over, I guess, the last couple of months, I've been, well, maybe not months, maybe more so weeks, it's been brought to my attention, whether by others or just thinking for myself, that I am not getting paid my worth. And the reason that I'm not getting paid my worth is because in some ways I still question, am I worth it? And what am I bringing to the table? And is it really valuable? And really, will people really invest in it? Or do I need to make the price so low just so it's a no-brainer? Or should I really charge what I feel that people should be paying me for my knowledge, my information, the energy that I bring, all that jazz, right? And so I would say, yeah, the last month, maybe 2 months, maybe about 3 or 4 people have come to me and told me, after hearing everything that I do with Be Free Project, that I should be making way more money than I'm making. And again, this is just me being transparent. Yes, I'm able to run this business full time. However, in order for me to be wealthy and get to the space that I want to get to and help people the way that I want to help them and just have abundant resources, I do have to shift things. And it starts with my mindset. So I was having conversations with, one was a dynamic coach that I just was honored to even be on the phone with. And after sharing everything that I do, she said, why are you not making more money? And I'm like, I don't know, right? But the thing is, and the beautiful thing about that conversation is this time there was no anxiety. Because sometimes when I have conversations about money, I get the butterflies in my stomach. I start getting overheated because I still have to work with the limited beliefs that I have been taught since I was a child. And not necessarily that they were verbally said to me, or I would say directly said to me, but more so indirectly. So we've all heard probably this common thing growing up where money doesn't grow on trees, or nobody has any money, or why you got to get paid that much money to do that. And so that has stuck in my mind. And I am working to reshape the way that I think so that I know my worth, my value, what I bring to the table, and that it's okay to charge for the knowledge and the information that I have in my head. Because trust and believe, I work very hard to get it. I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree, I read, I listen to podcasts, I have conversations. I do a lot of work. I go to conferences and summits and networking events. Like, I do a lot to get my knowledge. And the value that I bring to a room, I deserve to charge for it, right? So the thing is, when you do passion-driven work and maybe your service type of business, or even if you're working in corporate America, you may feel like, oh, I don't need to make that much money, or I'll never get paid that to do X, Y, and Z, not knowing that you deserve to get paid for what you know, and that you don't have to cheapen yourself or cheapen your value because of the fear that's probably holding you back more than likely. So from the beginning of starting Be Free Project, I've always had a challenge with charging for certain things, or like, what is the right price? And I've cheapened my work because I wanted it to be comfortable for others. Now, let me just make this clear. It's not about me being greedy or wanting to just have all the money. However, I work my butt off every single day. And I know that the work that I put out in the world, what I bring to my events, when I speak at different events, when I'm hosting my own meetups, all the things that I do, like, I deserve to be paid. And I have to keep saying that to myself, because I have to say it so much that I believe it, then I start getting paid what I'm worth. I hope this is resonating. And so I also received I received a message on Facebook right after I held my last Be Free meetup. So the one that was in July. And an attendee, it was her first time coming to the event. And the next day she sent me a message and she said, you know what? Your event is dynamic. Like, what you're doing is like no other. The energy, the value, the content, the women in the room, like, you are killing this thing. And she said, you are not charging enough. And so I was like, okay. And now this is someone who had attended for the first time. She had already purchased her ticket for the next one in August. And she was telling me, you're not charging enough based on everything that you're doing. And so what I know to be true is that I've been playing it safe and I want to make everything comfortable. But in order to grow in the way that I see Be Free Project, I have to shift the way that I think and know that I am worthy, that I deserve to be paid, right? And when I just think about just the Be Free meetups, which is my in person events, I am bringing together positive, like minded women that the only way that you would be able to connect with them in the way that I do things is through me. And then there's a plethora of resources that's available in the room from other people that work in corporate, from women that have their own business. There is relationships that are being formed. There is business transactions that are made. There's advice being given. There's sisterhood that is being birthed. All of this is happening because I'm bringing it together. And so when I think of it from that, from that perspective, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I am doing the darn thing. And I need to make sure that I'm speaking boldly and confidently about what I do and making sure that what I put out in the world, not just for others to value it and think is, amazing, but I have to feel the same way. So with her saying that, and then a couple of coaches that I'd spoken with, I said, okay, I am going to shift things. And so I did. I increased the price on the Be Free meetup, and now I'm at a price which is comfortable based on the amount of women that I can get in the room. And it is a nice pricing point where I'm like, okay, I feel good about this. I can sleep at night charging this amount. And let me say, when you are doing any type of work, you definitely want to be able to support why, whether you're asking for a raise at work or you're increasing your prices for your business, you'd have to be able to support how you're able to do that. So let me just say this. I have been in business for 4.5 years. I have hosted at least 40 events on my own, at least. Okay. And then I've spoken at events such as Blogalicious. I was a moderator. I hosted an an out-of-state event in North Carolina with Alicia from the Alicia Nicole. I've spoken plenty of times at the Women's Business Center here in Cleveland. I've been on panels. I've spoken at other events. I've been hired to speak at 2 events in September. So I have been putting in the work. And I have been doing it consistently and with discipline. And that's a whole nother topic that I'm going to speak on, because there has been a number of people who have reached out to me. I would say, the question that I get asked most often is, there's 2 questions. How do you stay motivated? And how are you so consistent? And so I'm going to do a whole nother episode just on that, right? So I share that to say, I've been putting in the work. And I have built a solid foundation for Be Free Project. And I am very clear about the direction that I'm going. And now I feel confident that I can charge $25 to come to the Be Free meetup. I can charge $19.99 for the Be Free Inner Circle. I can charge, whatever I charge for my products. And then as far as speaking, I can charge a certain rate for that. Okay. And so one of the things that happened most recently is that someone reached out to me to speak at their event. And so they completed the application that's on my website for me to speak. And so when I saw the amount that they were paying, I'm like, that doesn't feel good to me. I've done a lot. That's not a rate that I am willing to speak for. And this all ties into knowing your worth. And so I get on the phone with the founder of the organization, and she said, I submitted this application and I want to follow up with you. And I told her, based on what you submitted, that is not a comfortable rate for me. I said, my starting rate is this. And in order for me to speak, that's where I'm willing to start at. I said, I am open to negotiate, but based on what they were offering to start out with, I just wasn't willing to speak. Because now I understand that because of all the work that I've been putting in, my work is worth something, right? Me being in the room and speaking and sharing how I've been able to go from feeling stuck to unstoppable, that is worth something. And so when I'm bringing that to the room, I can charge a certain amount. And so she said, I totally get it. We really want you to speak. She said, I'm going to go back to my board and see what we can do. So she shoots me an email and she said, you know what? We really wanted to pay you that amount, but you did say you were open to negotiate. And what are you willing to negotiate? So I already had my mind fixed on a certain number. And I said, okay, if we have to go down a little bit, I'm open to that because I believe in her organization. I believe in what she's doing. I know that the women that are going to attend this conference can benefit from what I can share. And so we came to a rate that was good for both of us. And she paid right away. And that made me feel so proud because normally I would have accepted what somebody offered me. But after having conversations with different coaches and my peers and understanding that I am worth a certain amount and even more, because it's going to keep going up at this point as I continue to master my craft, I felt very good about that. And even if they would have said, we just can't afford you right now, I would have been okay because I always know that something greater is coming. Something greater is always coming. Things are always working out for me. And I shared this quote on the last podcast, and it was from the book Believe Bigger, and we're reading that in the Be Free Inner Circle. And the quote is by Marshawn Evans Daniels, and I cannot stop thinking about it, y'all. And it says, if you allow yourself to settle for less, no one is obligated to stop you. And that is in the forefront of my mind at this point. I refuse to settle for less than what I am worth. Now, I will say this. This is not like, oh, I just got it all together overnight. Absolutely not. It is an ongoing process. I have to constantly work on shifting the way that I think and believing that I am worth, whatever I feel my worth is, right? Or my value. And so it's ongoing. It's not just like something that you have all together once you make, this declaration to yourself. It is an ongoing process. But this is not just for me, but you too need to acknowledge and recognize your value. What are you worth? And when you look at what you're getting paid now, again, whether at your job or in your business, are you comfortable with that? Do you feel that you can make more and you should be making more? And if so, can you back that up? Have you done, have you gotten more education? Have you taken more classes, more certifications, courses, different things like that to be able to say, you know what? I am worth a little bit more. And then are you brave enough to say, go to your manager or increase your prices and say, this is what I'm worth, and be okay with if it doesn't go the way that you want, that you're willing to step out on faith and do something different. I am a firm believer that is what is for you is for you. And I posted this on Instagram a few days ago that whether it takes a month, whether it takes a year, whatever is for you will always find you. And you have to trust in that like nobody's business, right? And so the gist of this whole, episode is to know your worth, know what you bring to the table, don't be cheapened, right? And don't settle for what somebody else is going to give you. You set the foundation. You say, this is my worth and this is what you have to pay me or what you have to invest in me. And if it doesn't sit right with you, then be okay with walking away and know that your opportunity will find you always. All right. Now, this week, I don't necessarily have an action step, but more so a quote. And the quote is, I'm not sure who wrote it, but I found it on Pinterest. Know your worth. Never settle for less than you deserve. I'm going to say it again. Know your worth. Never settle for less than you deserve. So I'm going to tell you that you deserve what your heart desires. Whatever you desire, you deserve it because you want it in your heart. The thing is, you have to show up and act like you want it and be so confident in yourself and know that you deserve it. Do not settle for anything less than what you feel you deserve. And that can be in your relationships. That can be at your job. I don't care. Do not settle for what somebody else is going to give you. You set the rules. You lay the groundwork, right? And let people meet you where you're at. You deserve greatness. You deserve to be able to be free and live the life that you desire. You deserve to live the life that you want on your terms. And you do not have to be stuck. You do not have to be stagnant. You do not have to settle for less than what you deserve. You need to go after what you want with everything that you desire, right? You have to go after everything that you want and know your value, know your worth, and don't let anybody cheapen you. And do not settle. Because if you settle, you're going to end up being frustrated with yourself. And that, I know that to be true because that has been me on many occasions where I accepted what people wanted to bring to the table. And then I end up being pissed off because I allowed it. People will only do to you what you allow. So then you have to start to set boundaries, right? And that's a whole nother podcast episode about boundaries. But if you want people to value you, you first have to value yourself. All right. So again, no, not necessarily an action step, but just the quote that I want you to write down is to know your worth and never settle for less than you deserve. And what I want you to do this week is to purchase the Girl Be Free pen. It is a pen that you can wear on your hat, on your jacket, on your scarves, on your tote bags. And it is you saying, girl, be free. Be free and live your life. Free from being stuck, free from your past, letting go of everything that has held you back. And you are saying to the world, I want to be free. That pen is only $10. You can get it on my website. I will drop the link in the show notes so that you can find it. All right, so I do have a few announcements for you. And I am busy. So August 11th, I will be hosting a Be Free meetup in Cleveland. That is a Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you're looking for a space to connect with positive, like-minded women where positive energy just flows and flows. It is a space that you want to be in. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it is where relationships are being built. Magic happens. The conversations that we have is just so inspiring. You'll eat. You have light refreshments, of course. You'll network and have inspiring conversations that's going to challenge you to show up for yourself. And then, of course, I'm going to have a special gift for you. That is on, again, Saturday, August 11th. Then, officially, I am taking this baby on the road. So I will be hosting a Be Free meetup in Columbus, Ohio at Zora's house on August 25th, which is a Saturday. That will be a morning workshop. And the theme or the topic is going from stuck to unstoppable. So all my Girl Be Free listeners, if you're in Columbus or you know someone there, definitely send her the link that will be in the show notes. I would love to meet you. And then lastly, or for now, because I have a lot coming up in September. But Fearlessly She Summit is happening September 7th through September 9th. I will be a workshop host where I will be talking about getting clear about what you want and getting unstuck. Tickets are now available. And if you use the code BeFree15, you'll save 15% off your ticket. One other thing, if you missed last week, I shared how I was interviewed on 107.3 The Wave, which was a really great interview that I had with Grace Roberts about what it really means to be free. I'll drop the link again in the show notes so that you can check that out. And then this week, y'all, I was a guest on a TV show called Forum 360, and it's a local station that's going to go out to 5.1 million viewers along on some radio stations as well. So when I have the interview, the link for that, I'll be able to share that with you. But y'all, I am working. I am putting in the work. I am doing it, and I'm excited about what I'm creating. I am ready to speak whenever and however. So if you are looking for a speaker for your next event, or if you know a place that I need to speak at, definitely let me know. I have my website, befreeproject.com. There's a tab on there for speaking that you can check out, and I'll drop the link in the show notes as well. And I will say, and I'm going to keep saying this, everything that I'm doing now is preparing me for the next thing. So I've been sharing with you guys for some time, and so many of you are in agreement with me that I will be speaking at Essence Fest one day. I will be traveling all over the world, teaching women what it means to go from feeling stuck to unstoppable. I will one day open up my own space for women to come and just be able to breathe and just be, and it'll just be so many great things. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. And so I say this out loud all the time because I believe in manifesting what you want and speaking it out loud. When you speak it, you include other people, so now they're holding you accountable. And as you speak it over and over again, you get more confident with it. You start to believe it yourself. And then what you dream and what you believe becomes your reality. Trust me, I am living it right now. Like everything that I touch right now, I feel like is golden. And if you feel like, oh my goodness, I want to learn how to show up for myself and I want to get unstuck and I'm tired of going through the motions day after day and not getting anywhere, join me in the Be Free Inner Circle. It is a community, accountability, resources, and coaching from me and a group or a big group of women all over the world and country, who are really showing up for themselves. And you can learn more at BeFreeInnerCircle.com. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for vibing with me. Thank you to everyone who has been sending me so many beautiful comments about the podcast. Thank you for sharing it. Keep it coming. Share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook and Twitter, especially if you're enjoying it. Send the link to your friends. Take a picture of it, snap it on your stories, tag me so I can see it, and just keep helping me get the word out. And if you're enjoying the podcast, definitely leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Until next time, girl, be free. Thank you so much for listening. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling really fancy, go ahead and leave a review. Until next time, be free and live.